Hi, everybody. It is Pauline with Zentail. I'm back for another round of Ask the Experts. Today, I'm here with CoCo Peterson. She is the e-commerce manager from Candle Warmers. CoCo, hey, nice to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So Candle Warmers, it feels like we're at the end of September here. About to head into Q4. I feel like you guys have a lot ahead of you. Just candle warmers out of category. I think folks can guess that you have something to do with candles, but it's actually a little bit different. So can you, for everyone who's watching, just give a brief overview about candle warmers?
Yes, so our company actually started several years ago when the founder's neighbor actually had their house burned down from a candle. And so he came up with this way to use a warmer to melt the candle. And we were the first candle warming company. And we have just grown our line from there, from lamps that will melt them from the top down to just the traditional warmer that melts either a candle or wax melts. And we have grown from there. We do have our own fragrance line that we offer as well, but our bread and butter really is our hardline products, those warmers that help you use whatever fragrance you want in a way without a flame.
Got it. Great. Very good. So founded in like the early 2000s, been around roughly 20 years. Nice. Mm-hmm. A lot's changed in that time.
Yes.
Can you talk us through, I guess, some of the like key milestones of candle warmers and how you went from like a really terrible mishap, sorry about your founder's neighbor, to now this like amazing national, international kind of corporation?
Well, I've only been here for 2 years, so I can speak to, little bits that I heard of before me and then what has happened since I've been here. I know that they were able to continue to grow through the recession, through the different challenges that happened in the early 2000s, because this category really is, people want their space to smell nice. They want their space to feel nice, and smell is definitely a huge part of ambiance. So that has really helped be very successful, as well as, just having an ownership team that is very thoughtful and particular with everything that they do. Then a few years ago, they decided that, there's something to this e-commerce thing. Maybe we should start selling more online. And they started dipping their toe into the water and getting products on our website for sale, as well as having outsourcing, having companies list them on places like Amazon and things like that. Yeah. They brought me in-house, or they brought me on the team to start bringing that in-house and really be able to help our company become an e-commerce partner with our B2B customers, as well as really grow that B2C relationship with customers through whether it's through a marketplace or directly.
Yeah. Hi guys, CoCo had to just shift rooms real quick to make sure that we had some good audio. It looks like we're back and we're good. Where we trailed off in the conversation, I think I was getting really excited about your shift, or again, a little bit of your transition from being solely focused on wholesale to then diving into, D2C. I know that you weren't there for all of it, but I guess I'd be interested to know what were the overall impacts that you're aware of that happened in that, a little bit of a pivot.
Mm-hmm. The biggest was definitely in our warehouse and operations that way, just simply because B2B is very different from B2C when you're shipping boxes and pallets versus Susie gets this package and Davey gets this package, and figuring out what they wanted. And also customer support, working with, when a buyer is buying, they're usually working with a salesperson versus, making sure that we have customer support. So Susie or Davey call and they have someone to talk to because they don't have a sales rep. And the sales reps, that's not what they want to do, right? It's customer support. So those are two of probably bigger things. And then the other is just being able to expand our product lines to more those products that, a store might not necessarily be looking for, but an individual customer is looking for.
Right.
Because stores want to go with things that they know have a good track record for sale through, where, we can be a little bit more innovative when we're working directly with the customer.
I was going to say, so does that mean that you get to almost like test out a new product line, something B2C first before you blow it up and make it big B2B?
We do have that ability. We haven't had to do that very much yet because, this is a fair, we're more on the young side of being direct to consumer. And with COVID,
Yeah.
we've just kind of been running as fast as we can to keep up with the demands that we've run into.
Exactly.
And so, as soon as we get product, we just tell everybody about it.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So it sounds like one of the first big things to tackle was your warehouse. What were some of those early things that you had to make sure that were covered for B2C that were now new, as opposed to things you had, existing for B2B?
Shipping processes for sure. Everything that we order from the factory is drop tested in case packs, and so making sure that our individual packaging could pass a drop test, or at least once it's packaged in a box to ship out, it's passing a drop test. Most of our products are ceramic. So, that does not fare well.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
when it gets
like
around a FedEx truck.
Bingo. Yes. The wax probably fares a little bit better than the ceramic pieces.
Yes, that is true. Although there is a season in which we're not allowed to ship wax either, with different carriers, because, think about Arizona, it's 120 degrees. That's about the melting point of our wax. So, there are certain times we don't ship a lot of wax as well for that reason.
Wow, I never thought about that, but it makes a ton of sense. That applies to both B2B and B2C, I guess, just the date and the product line. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Internally, did your software also align, or did you need to kind of expand between and differentiate B2B, B2C systems?
Yes. So we have, our company as a whole uses NetSuite to manage, all the various aspects of our business. And NetSuite is a great system, but it is also a system that has been around for a long time, and it isn't really dynamic enough to keep up with the direct consumer world as much. And so finding something that is robust enough to integrate with NetSuite, but also can handle the dynamic changes. That was really the hardest thing. When I started, we were with Channel Advisor, which was at the time when they started the only native connection with NetSuite, which is why they used it.
Makes sense.
I absolutely did not enjoy my experience.
Sorry to say, it affects your business, so that's terrible.
Yeah, it does. So I lobbied really hard for a change, and that's when I was introduced to Zentail, and then I made the change.
Yeah, nice. I know we are really grateful that you guys have been awesome customers, and we're here talking today. So I guess, what was the biggest difference? What was the biggest pain point that you had that you were looking to solve?
Really, they just were not, their customer support was just horrible. The person who set up our account had never really worked in e-commerce before. So she's traditional marketing, and then they had her, set it up, and then they brought me on later. So I kind of stepped into a mess that she hadn't meant to create, but it was, it was just not set up the way that someone with the experience would have set it up. And then to try to work through that to fix it, we were paying by the hour and buying little service kits and different things. And then once we were on those phone calls, we'd get a flippant person with a bad attitude who didn't really want to help us. So when I was looking, painful. It was so painful. And so I basically deactivated every aspect of Channel Advisor except for the order sync, so that we could make sure that we were still keeping track of our orders and our inventory. But as far as like listing syncs and everything like that, I was just managing them in the channels themselves, because I didn't want to deal with the mess that they were creating otherwise. So that was something that when I was shopping around, I was really looking for someone who, if I did run into an issue, was going to help me. And it's fine to pay for service, but if I'm paying for a service, that service gets provided.
Correct. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. That's great to hear. I think that our team really does pride itself on their service and on like, I think we treat all of our clients more as partners than as, paying customers. And so that's great to hear that it came to us, sure, obviously the software has great capabilities, but our team is something we really are proud of. So that's nice to hear.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And there's definitely, and Lenore is like, she's always like right there for me.
She's great. She's so great.
Yes, she's great. But especially because Zentail being a younger company in the space, like there are certain sites that you're not yet linked to, but that customer support is really what made me decide, you know what, you will get there. We'll link that there. But in the meantime, the rest of my life is
Yeah. Nice.
And
very
that
good.
makes a huge difference. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I know that there are channels that we are looking into that we want to make available to sellers. Also, I think that we kind of have like the core, right? Where if you're going to spend your time on anything, focus on these, and then everything else is just like, plus, but like this is really the meat of it. So hopefully we're able to, support you that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Cool. All right. Thanks. I wasn't expecting that, but thank you for all of those comments. If we can kind of maybe pivot back to this whole B2B, D2C, B2C, however you want to call it, that shift. All right. So we have software, support handled, etc. Can you speak to how things are handled internally? I know that sometimes we speak to brands and, they are hesitant to make the shift. They're not sure kind of like we've been talking about how to make all those changes. And then even internally, there's like a fight. There's like the B2B team is against the B2C team, whether it's like sales numbers, like priorities with, business plans and inventory. But, how do you guys balance that out at Candle Warmers?
So we have a person named Marley, she kind of controls the inventory side of things. She's over the purchasing, and she also controls who gets what inventory. None of us, no matter who we are, cannot send any inventory to anyone unless Marley has approved that we have that inventory allocated. In our Zentail account, we have an e-commerce warehouse that I can use for,
however you need to.
all of my sites, but she's the one that puts things in there. I do not. So having a Marley is very important.
Good. Very good.
She's very good at what she does.
Does she accept bribes is my next question.
I know, right? I haven't found what will bribe her best yet. I need to figure that out. That's a good idea. And then also just internally, we recently started it was May, we added an e-commerce specialist that works under me, but also works with the sales team specifically, so that relationship between the buyer is with two people, a salesperson and an e-commerce person, so that we can make sure that we're aware of their e-commerce efforts, their promotions, their different things that they want to do, and make sure that our listings on their websites are completely optimized with whatever our marketing team has available. That is something that the sales team has kind of been a little bit in the dark in the past, because they've been so focused on the sales part. They're just more doing the traditional sales thing. They haven't known like, oh, well, I have this video or this graphic that's going to break down the fragrance for my customer, because looking at a fragrance without smelling it is a very different experience. And so, adding that really helps with the conversion online.
Okay, cool. So to clarify, it sounds like you guys do work with resellers.
We do not have resellers. We have an IMAP policy. We do not allow people to sell our products on third-party marketplaces. That is our space. That is my space. I am very territorial.
Don't mess with the CoCo space.
No.
Brand registry. I imagine you're
already
settled there. Nice. Taking care of you. Taking care of business. All right, great.
Yes.
So they brought yourself on. You've been at the D2C commerce game for roughly 3-4 years. How has D2C made an impact on your guys' business?
Well, when I started, Amazon specifically, because that is our biggest D2C channel, was kind of just the little side project that wasn't really getting a lot of attention. It was doing okay sales here and there. roughly about the same as our website was with our customers, B2B or B2C. And since I've been here, it is now our biggest account. And we work with a lot of large retailers that we also do private label for, that obviously I can't say who those are with the private label, but we are selling more on Amazon than anywhere else right now. So
that is phenomenal growth.
Yeah, yes, it's grown. I mean, we joke that we have a tiger by the tail because we're trying to project things, and then, and it just keeps growing and growing as we optimize. And then, and then COVID happens, and then it continues to grow. And then, holidays happen, and it's continuing to grow. So it's really such an exciting space to be in right now, but it's also, it's got its stresses too, but it's grown exponentially since I've been here.
Cheers. That is phenomenal. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Cool. You brought it up, COVID. I feel like you can't have a conversation these days without bringing up COVID. So how has it affected your business? What are you expecting for Q4? Everyone's saying that, this will be, of course, unprecedented. I hate that word now, but like an epic e-commerce Q4. But aside from that, like, you are a seasonal product. When I think fall, I'm like, light my candle. Or sorry, plug in my candle warmer. Yeah.
There you go. So with COVID, we really did not see generally springtime, summertime, we see a bit of a dip, which a lot of e-commerce companies do unless you're in the outdoor space. But we actually did not see that dip this year. And it's because people were in their homes. And if you're in your home, you don't want it to smell like your dog. You don't want it to smell like your kid's dirty feet. You want it to smell like you want it to smell. So, and we definitely saw an increase in our use of essential oils and diffusers as people were trying to make their home feel more like an office space and be able to bring focus and things in their home. Amazing. So, we definitely did not see a lull at all, which has caused a bit of a challenge as we're getting ready for Q4, because normally during the summer, that's my prep time for Q4, where, I'm working on sites and optimizing and doing different things where I have not had the time to do that. And so, it's every day, it's like, oh, I've got all of these things I've got to do. So it's really affected the prep that I normally do. It's also affected as we have tried to forecast for inventory, making sure, because people weren't expecting to have, those high sales when nobody else was able to be open, because they were so used to that B2B model. Their thought was, oh, well, if people are closing, we're not going to be able to be open. But then, we continued to brainstorm as a marketing team and to innovate for different ways to help even our small mom and pop brick and mortar shops be able to do drop ship. And we just didn't slow down.
Really good. You guys sound like you're always really nimble, like adapting to, just whatever the world throws at you. So
we try.
That explains your growth. Done.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, we try.
So for Q4, so are you still expecting kind of a gangbusters Q4? Or do you think that it will kind of come down because people have already been buying, or just because it's like a really giftable, product, you'll continue to just see it soar?
Yeah, we are fully projecting a typical spike towards the end of the year, because totally giftable. It's definitely a feel-good product, and you can count on feel-good products during times when people are stressed. Whether it's food or smell or skincare, that like people want to feel good. And so, and
sorry, are you saying that this is one of those, is this one of those stressful times? I had no idea.
I know. Are people stressed right now? I don't know. People seem totally normal.
Yeah, fine. I'm fine. Great,
yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Obviously, we love sales graphs that go up and to the right. So we'll be monitoring your Zentail account. When would you have normally started that prep? Like you're saying, like back in Q2, like end of March, once Jan 1 hits?
For optimizing
for Q4 in normal
for Q4. Period. So normally we do new product launches, usually the 1st of January and then usually the 1st of July. So around June, when I started getting information about our new products and any new product lines, any running changes we're doing to product lines, anything like that, that's when I would start getting those incorporated on our websites and getting them incorporated in listings, and working with the rest of the marketing team to make sure that anything that we need to even have videos of have been done.
Nice.
And so, I mean, that is the part that we haven't really, we did do some videos, some product videos for this last launch that launched in July. And even that was different because they just dropped the videos off of the videographer and just said, do your best to copy our style with our styling. And he did a great job. So you can't tell that they weren't styled by our team member that normally styles them. But, things like that, it's just been, things are just different right now.
Yeah, very true. Very true. All right, I guess last question before we have a little fun. What's ahead for you guys in the future? What's part of your growth strategy? Definitely innovating in the home fragrance space, making sure that we are not just, an accessory that you want to buy to have with your favorite candle, but also become the source for, all types of home fragrances in your home. They're looking at different types of products to clean the air and diffuse different fragrances in the house. That's something our product development team is working on, continuing to develop our Aromay line, which is the aromatherapy, the essential oils, because so many people really care about cleanliness and purity and don't want the toxins in the air that they get from other home fragrance products. So that is really where our product team is focused on growing, and I'm excited to go there with them because I think that we can definitely sell them. Nice, exciting. That is awesome. Again, like staying ahead of the curve is so important. So congratulations, you guys.
Thanks.
Okay, great. So here are some 10 rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What advice do you have to other D2C brands that are just starting out?
Make mistakes often and correct them quickly.
Nice.
Just go as fast as you can.
Very good. What has been one of the biggest hurdles that you've had to overcome along the way?
Patience. I am not a patient person, and I am very much a do-it-myselfer. And so, I will figure out how to fix it myself. And that's the hardest part with working in a team, especially a company this size, is having, so many people having to touch things. And I'm like, don't touch.
Yes. You're getting so big, you're almost going corporate. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. When you think about something that has added the most value to your organization as you've grown, what comes to mind?
I would honestly say our hiring practices. Our ownership team is just so good at making sure that they find people who are really good at working as a team and being cohesive.
That's
even though
so
they
great.
hired me and I am the impatient person who wants to do things by myself.
But you've also grown a channel to, tremendous leaps and bounds. So good hire.
And I'm funny and I dance around the office. So there you go.
There you go. I would like to work with you.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do you think it is about your product specifically that your customers love?
Quality is definitely a big part of everything that we do. We make sure that we meet a price point so that we are able to be in some of those big box retailers that have a price point sensitive customer, but making sure that that does not scrimp on quality.
Nice. Very good. While still having some good ties to the US. So that's awesome.
Yes.
All right. Tell me about your morning routine.
Take my dogs out to go potty immediately. Wake up, take my dogs to go potty. And then actually one of the first things I do is turn on my essential oil diffuser and add oils in and start my day off with some of our fragrances.
Absolutely. Very good. What is your favorite food?
Chicken enchiladas.
Nice. Very good. Tell me about one of your hobbies.
Oh gosh, I have taken up needlepoint during COVID. I had a friend who just found something on Etsy she wanted done, and I was like, okay. And so now I've just been, being a little grandma in my house with my dogs, sewing my little needlepoints.
Very cute. So, that is great. My daughter wanted to take up like knitting and crocheting, and I was like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. One of my friends picked that up, so I do the needlepoint, she does the crochet.
Excellent. What are your dogs' names?
Podrick, that's from Game of Thrones, and Monty, after Monty Python.
Very, very good. That sounds great. Okay, what is an item on your bucket list?
I would love to go to Bali. That place just looks magical to me. That is on my bucket list.
Me too. Take me.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Very good. Very good.
As soon as we can travel again, as
Exactly.
you know, U.S. citizens cannot basically go anywhere right now. Let's go to Bali.
Oh yeah. There's that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last one. What has been one of the most impactful life lessons for you, whether it's personally or professionally?
Always keep going. I started, I graduated thinking I was going to do interior design. I studied that. That's what I was going to do. I worked in it. 2008 hit. Nobody was designing homes. So I've had to be flexible. I've had to learn. I've had to definitely go grow as I go and be very dynamic, be open to saying, okay, like this job, I'm going to learn a ton. I might not make the money I want to make. And so, at one point I was, learning product development and marketing, as well as, at night, working at California Pizza Kitchen, just so that I could have, make sure that my income was where it needed to be. So I would definitely say, be flexible and be open and just keep learning, because otherwise, the world kind of leaves you behind.
Way to go. I love that a lot. And I like that you've been able to obviously see the positive in all of that. Clearly you've ended up in a great spot with a huge smile on your face, dancing around the office. So that's excellent. Very good.
Thank you.
CoCo, this has been a great conversation. Thank you so much. Your journey and the company's journey sounds awesome. Again, thank you for all the kind words, and we will check in with you at the end of Q4 and see how that, exponential growth looks.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.